It's all being recorded. So good morning. How's everybody? Awesome. Let's see. So we're 8.5% through the year. Got that? Right? Everybody good? Are you 8.5% of the way towards your goals? At least? Exceeding them? Yeah? Guys know, so I was a high school math teacher, right? So I'm teaching high school math. Let me put that in air quotes. Teaching basically fourth grade math to high schoolers, right? Okay, is what I was doing. So we're teaching fractions to decimals. So we're converting fractions to decimals, and we're going through, and I was listing things and say, for instance, 1/8, that's 0.125, and they said, "What? You just know that?" I said, "Know that?" I said, "That's my lifetime batting average." And they said, "What? You played baseball?" I said, "Yeah, but you said you couldn't hit." I said, "If I could hit, you think I'd be teaching math?" And I said, "Come on, I know this kind of stuff," and I got those things down. So, So anyway, 1/12 is about 8.5%. So that's so we're 8.5% of the way through our year. So you better at least be there. And if you're not, then tonight, right? 100K coming up. How many guys sign up for 100K? Awesome. First session coming up tonight at 7 o'clock. If you're part of the next, anybody part of the next? Any other nexters in the room? We got about. Next is did 4 million or more in sales last year, or 15 or more transactions last year. Then you qualify for the next, which is busting through and taking us to the next level. Really cool stuff we're going to be covering. We're going to read several books. We're going to dig down and really analyze the concept of business ownership, how to create a business out of your real estate business, how to think of ourselves as a business owner as opposed to just a self-employed person. And there's a huge mindset shift that we're going to work through. And so if you're not there and want to get to that point, following that is the 100K Club, which teaches you how to get to that point where you are doing at least 15 or more transactions and so on and so forth. So got something for everybody. They start tonight, Hampton Inn, Oldsmar. Tomorrow morning is at Pro, 9 a.m. for the next, 10 a.m. for the 100K. And then we also have Orlando group. So, by the way, we still have some room. We actually, you guys helped me push, and a couple other people helped me push. We've got about 18 or 20 people signed up for Orlando group now, which is great. We don't have as much exposure there, but if you know any agents in Orlando, reach out to them. Let them know. This is a great thing for them to touch base. We're going to be in Altamont Springs at a Hampton Inn there, so I'd appreciate the push to help us get going. That's one of my tasks this year, part of my next, because I'm kind of going to be pushing the same thing on my end, on my business. Is to help grow our Orlando office and get that up and running. So with that said, I don't know if we're live yet, but that's good. We'll catch up. Let's go in reverse order. Brian, you got a haircut, man? Recently? See, I could tell. You're looking good. You're looking high and tight. You're looking awesome. There you go. What's up? Brian Heckman.
So I'm Brian Heckman, Heckman Mortgage Group. Thanks for having me. So I love conversion tools. Help you attract more people, convert more people. You guys using the $2,000 mortgage tax credit?
No. Tell us about it.
So it's a federal program, tax credit program. It's not a DPA program, not down payment assistance. So you don't need a second underwrite and all that stuff. Basically gives people $2,000 every year that they're in the house as a primary residence. So my big thing is how we market that and communicate that to customers. That's $166 a month.
So what is it? So okay, hang on. So what does it do?
It puts $166 a month.
Correct, but $2,000 grant. I mean, it comes back on tax credit.
Dollar for dollar tax credit.
Okay.
On their taxes.
Qualifications for that.
So there's some eligibility requirements.
Right.
First-time buyers or military veterans.
Good.
There are some income limits and restrictions, but here's the big thing, because every agent wants to know every detail about it.
Right.
Go talk about it and ask the question, are you eligible for that $2,000 tax credit? And what are they going to say?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
How do I find that out?
Well, what's that? You know what? Remind me about that. But anyway, so you wanted a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Okay, great. Okay, cool. And that's just one conversion tool. So what the cool thing is, you don't go pre-qualify them. You don't go find out if they're eligible. You don't give them every freaking 15 bullet points on it. You just ask them if they're eligible, and they're going to say no. What is it? And you have a great way to capture them and refer them. The lender does have to be eligible. We underwrite it. We do it in-house and all that stuff. But even if they're not eligible for it, by that time, you've already developed a relationship, and that's just one conversion tool that you share to kind of buy brain cells with them. Make sense?
And that's a tax credit. Tax, not a tax deduction.
Nope, tax credit.
Okay, not an income tax deduction, but actual tax credit.
I love call to actions too that are urgent. So there's an urgency because it's good through for this year via primary residence this year, right? And again, veterans are automatically eligible for it. So
awesome. Good deal.
Thanks for having me.
How do we get hold of you?
Yes, sir.
You have a URL to find out that information?
TheHeckmanGroup.com.
Okay.
See?
Yes. Yeah, we're actually doing a video and stuff like that for it.
Okay.
Massively, massively beneficial, guys. The video will have a little bit of humor in it when we do it, Tom.
It always does.
Yeah, but very, very good conversion tool. So.
Awesome. Okay, now remember again, I know you guys all have mortgage relationships. One of the reasons that we have no relationship other than we have a relationship. With that means saying that there's no monetary, I have no ownership interest in Brian's mortgage business. He has no ownership interest in my real estate company. Totally separate. We're here just to do what we do. But one of the reasons I bring people to the table that I trust is because I trust them to bring value. Okay, it's not just, hey, here's a box of donuts and a rate sheet and use me. Right? That's the way loan officers attacked me when I was doing what you guys do now. Brian's bringing value to the table. Hey, let me help you convert more business. Let me help you grow your business. And as an end result, potentially you might remember that and reciprocate that. Okay? By the way, if you want to talk about reciprocating, being generous first on the front side, come tonight at 7 and we'll talk about at the 100K Club how you could do that with your own business just like Brian's doing here. So thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. Good deal. Kevin,
yes, sir.
Got stuff, people handing stuff out. You got your surrogates. My boys would call them minions.
They do. I think one of the minions was named Kevin, though. So.
Yeah, it was named.
It was.
It was named Kevin. You're right.
Was your twin, right?
Right, there you go. So Mandy and Stacy are handing out these 3 pages to everyone, and Danielle's supposed to be here any minute, so she can talk
Yes.
more about.
Right. She's coming.
Yeah. So I'll let her touch on that after she gets here. But please check out this first one. This is a little boy who is terminally ill. He was born with a severe heart problem, and he requires a heart transplant and a double lung transplant that he wouldn't make it through. So one of his bucket list things was he wanted to have a huge party, a huge birthday party. So this really cool place, Old Mickey's Farm, has donated their farm for the day, and it would cost you more than $10 to go there on a regular day. So go to this site, buy tickets, bring your whole family, bounce houses, cotton candy machines, all kinds of volunteers and food and everything will be great.
Awesome. You guys are one of the co-sponsors of that? Okay, very good.
Our company sponsored it.
Awesome.
Second thing is our next BABA is, which stands for Become a Better Agent. That is this Thursday, day after tomorrow at the Hampton Inn Suites on Hampton.
We just keep them in business, don't we?
Yeah.
Hampton Inn, they just love us. Jackie, she loves us over there.
She gets mad when you don't pay her though.
Well, dude, you need to do that. Yeah, she has my credit card. I just get hit. She's kept that.
I mean, when you delay slightly.
Okay.
So please come to this. These are never recorded. They're never the same. We have different presenters and sponsors each time, and everyone, I think probably half of the people in this room have been to at least one. We do this every month. The one in March is going to be at Hope Children's Home. The one in April is going to be Blast, because it's going to be at the racetrack, followed by a day of races. And the one in May, my favorite, we're going to have Bob McDougall as a speaker.
See, look at that. You never know who might show up.
Right,
there you
right.
go. Cinco de Mayo. No, it's Seis de Mayo, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the last thing is just for the next few months, our calendar of events that we're doing. We do these monthly meetings, but then we also have some fun stuff that we do. So just hang on to that and let us know if you want to join anything. And
who do you have on tap for Thursday? I don't have the flyer right in front of me.
Thursday's going to be cool. It's we're going to have an open discussion about how to justify the full commission that you all want to charge.
Nice.
Instead of the getmoreoffers.com for $2.99 that say they'll do the same thing that you do. And then I'm going to go over the differences between the different types of deeds and what it means to you and to your clients. And then we've got an attorney coming to talk about how closings blow up sometimes and how a good attorney can fix that. And then our key speaker is a mortgage friend of mine, and I'm going to be interviewing him about kind of the ins and outs of private money lending.
Yeah.
Something that you can offer to your buyers if you know what it is. So come Thursday.
And your clients are willing to have their legs broken if they don't make their payments.
Exactly.
There you go. Absolutely. See, that's hey, you know what?
Sign a disclosure.
That you're okay with this. You're not going to press charges if someone shows up to break it. Like exactly. See? Hey, there are consequences to our actions, all right? If you get to the point in life where you need a private money lender, then you just got to realize there are consequences. I am where I am today because of choices I made yesterday. is what we decide, right? So, good. Thanks. Kevin, again, his company, no financial relationship between us, other than the fact that he brings value to the table through things like this Baba and everything else that he does, trying to help you increase your business and become a better agent. And that's what the synergistic relationship is what we're all about. So I appreciate that. Certainly do. So, Tanya, how are you? Awesome. Great. You can be back here. Well, we can still hear you.
Good morning. Tanya Morningstar with American Patriot Title, and also with GTAR attorney David Rankin, who's the owner of American Patriot Title. Just wanted to first start out by saying thank you to FHR and all of you for always welcoming us to these meetings, and also thank you so much to all of you who have trusted us with your clients and given us an opportunity to prove to you that we can be a loyal asset to your company. You are the CEO of your company. I was reading an article, a Realtor article, and just read a few little tips, and some of you are probably already doing these or have way cooler ideas, but I just thought they were cool to share to help you, kind of from the year of follow-up, from a closing with a client. So one of the first things was to maybe have a short, quick survey that you could send to the people, like maybe a couple months, give them some time to get settled. Survey Monkey is one of them that's free. I'm sure Tom knows a million of them since it's computer related. But just a quick survey to ask how you did and how you could better yourself. It gives them an opportunity to be honest, gives you an opportunity to develop, and just that touch, that constant touch with your clients to keep it going. Maybe down the road, like 6 months later, you could just contact them with a phone call or whatever your source of contact is, with maybe a new plumber that you have found or a great new electrician. Hey, I know you recently moved to the area, not sure what you might be looking for. I just met this great new plumber. Just wanted to share the information, gives you an opportunity to talk to him. And then a year past the closing date, this is the one I thought was the cutest, and again, some of you might be doing it, or the coolest, I should say, was the year closing anniversary. So after that year of your closing, sending them the anniversary card just to acknowledge that closing, just that constant contact with them. And then just to kind of wrap it up, if anybody wants, I've talked about these before, since it's optional on the closing now to have title insurance, which is very scary. If you need to explain it to someone, put it on written information. Your clients are always welcome to talk to David as well, an attorney, and he can explain, I'm sure, horror stories why they need title insurance. But if you'd like one of these to have in your bag of arsenal tools with your clients, be happy to give this to you. And I think sorry. I think that you put this, I emailed it to you a while back, and you maybe put it somewhere? Okay. All right.
If not, we'll make sure it's there.
Yes.
Awesome. Good deal. Awesome. Well, great. Thanks, Tanya. By the way, Kate, calling them 6 months out and saying, here's a great your electrician. All right. Come tonight at 7 o'clock, and we're going to read a book that's going to teach us about the triangle of trust, which when you do something like that says, hey, not only am I getting excited, but that's really cool, but guess who also is excited? The electrician. And the electrician's out there working on a landlord's home, and the tenant says, I am so sick of renting this home. All right, this guy, he's slow in responding, but even at that, I just feel like I'm wasting money. The electrician's going to say, hey, all right, Tom just referred me business. I've got a great guy named Tom. The triangle of trust, all right, when you start referring people, you're making two people happy. All right, you're making the referee, all right, the person who's receiving it, and the person who gets the referral and the person who's benefiting from that referral are both real happy with you, all right? So that's the whole concept of going out and giving value first, all right? So that's perfect. Awesome. Thanks, Tanya. Jerry.
Morning.
Morning.
My name is Jerry Papa. I'm the broker-owner of Gulfview Realty Property Management. We reside in the offices of Future Home Realty in West Chase. How many people here have ever referred a client to a property management company and been disappointed in the service?
No. I didn't listen to the whole thing.
The reason that some property management companies fail at the expectations of real estate professionals and or their clients is because of the lack of systems that they may not enjoy from within their company. I.e., do they have a back-end software system, a cloud where everything is stored? i.e. do they have a tenant and an owner's manual? And in the owner's manual, how extensive is it? Is it 40 plus pages? And is it reviewed page by page before the move-in? And do they have to sign for the book? And it covers every element of what's expected of them as tenants and what's expected of the relationship between the property management company and the tenants themselves. And also, what kind of communication takes effect? Do they know who their property manager is? How can they communicate with their property manager? And do they have a portal? Do they have a portal that's accessible 24/7 that gives them the ability not only to communicate with the company that's managing the property that they live in, but also, on the other side of the coin, their owner. The owner of the property has full disclosure and full information by way of that same portal, although seeing much different visibility than the tenants do. That's some of the things that we do as Gulfview Realty Property Management. And to show you how concerned we are about professional property management, I also help to teach property management at Pro, and I'm on the Property Management Council at Pro. In closing, one of the things I want to add is to complement what Kevin has stated. We are also a co-sponsor of the Eric fundraiser and birthday party coming up on the 28th of February. And as Kevin has stated, we have a guest coming here shortly that will talk about that. And trust me, he will pull on the heartstrings of everyone in this room because of what that family has been going through, and ultimately the love and support that this little boy gets from all that are involved in this situation. Again, Jerry Papa, Gulfview Realty Property Management.
Awesome. Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate that. And yeah, so Danielle's on her way. Did she come?
Can I just say something?
Sure. Hey, Leslie.
I wasn't as fancy as other people.
That's all right.
But I would like to hand this out because there's an email address on here.
Yeah.
To find out about sponsoring, donating, and volunteering.
Perfect.
And if you sponsor,
Yep.
The minimum is $100.
Yep.
And I didn't know she was coming, so.
Okay, good.
I guess she'll tell you all about the sponsorship.
That's
so I'll
fine,
just
too.
hand these out.
Yeah.
If that's okay.
Perfect. That's right. She is Danielle. Danielle Sullivan actually is a former FHR agent. She was with us. She left where'd she go? To kind of learn the luxury market. She's joined a team, and then she's told me every time that she's coming back. She says she's coming back every time when she asks me for my donation. All right, so I'm just teasing. I would tease her if she were here. But the cool thing is she actually got really stimulated to do this because maybe 1 or 2 sessions ago she joined our 100K, and one of our commitments in 100K is that you have to give 4 hours of time a month to a nonprofit. So she started working, I think, with the homeless in Tampa at one point was her thing, and then she ended up meeting through some other people, and it's kind of motivated her to do that. So, by the way, if you're not prepared to give of yourself first, which is one of our core values, right? We have that pay it forward. If you go to our website and check out our core values, one of our core values is pay it forward. All right, if you're not willing to commit to at least 4 hours of doing that, then I'll warn you ahead of time. Don't even come to the intro to 100K because you'll be kicked out. All right, if you're not willing to do it. So not allowed in. It's the only payment I ask. So Tom, you got something?
I just wanted to piggyback on the referral issue you brought up.
Yes.
And so forth. You guys understand that in the 100K Club, at the top of the page, there's a pinned post for adding vendors to the FHR list. And below that link is the link that you can actually click to get the report, which is the list of all the vendors. It automatically updates each time you add a vendor. You can go back and get the report again, and the new vendors are on that report. You're missing the boat if you're not using that to give to your buyers and your sellers when you're out there in the field. I mean, it was created almost a year ago now.
Right.
And
it's loaded now, right?
Well, unfortunately,
No?
It's not loaded. That's the problem.
It just needs people to
And
do it.
I see on the 100K Club, everybody asking, I need this, I
Right.
need that, I need the other. Well, when you find them, put them in the vendor list.
Right.
Okay?
So they're ready
So
for
that
us.
other people can take advantage of the tree trimmer or the house cleaner or the painter or whatever the case may be.
Perfect. Awesome. And That's the 100K group page, facebook.com/group/the100K club. Closed group, you have to get permission to get in. The only reason is because we are very limited on, Brian and Kevin are allowed in. I think, Jerry, you remember that?
Yes.
Okay, on the Facebook group page. But trust me, we're getting close to 400 agents in there. And with 400 agents, I mean, the number of mortgage people and title people I have to say no to. All right, because I know the first thing they're going to do is, hey, by the way, did I tell you how great my company is? All right, that's not what this is all about. It's all a way to share amongst ourselves. By the way, it's awesome. It's one of the best things I do. Our agents post problems there. Hey, well, I'm having a problem with this contract. Before I even get to it, Tom's already answered it. So it's awesome. He's on it. I'm just like, hallelujah, man, brother. You just keep going. All right, and all I have to do is go click one button that says like. I like Tom's response. Like. All right. And I'm good. I give my tacit approval to that, and we're all set. So it's a wonderful thing. So good. Tom, you got something for us coming up, the GTAR Realtor Care, right?
Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at Hamburger Mary's in Ybor City, we're having a fundraiser for the Realtors Care Foundation of GTAR, which is we give grants to buyers that qualify in either down payment or closing cost assistance, okay? We also do a up to $5,000 scholarship for anybody that's studying real estate as their career in college. And there's applications on the Realtor Care Foundation site plus the Facebook page. But it's $10 to, which comes back to Realtor Care Foundation. And then all the food and drinks that you buy, a portion of that comes back to the Realtor Care Foundation. And I can tell you that we've given out almost $300,000 in grants since we founded the Realtors Care Foundation. And it's owned by the Greater Tampa Association of Realtors. I'm on that board. I've been on that board forever, I guess. The GTAR board, but I'm also on the Realtor Care Foundation board. But anyway, I can tell you the last closing that I went to, and we gave the check to a young gentleman who moved here from Cuba.
Cool.
Came here and actually got a job, learned to speak English on his own, works at Home Depot. And
now he's running for president.
Well, no.
See, different guy. All right, different guy. All right, awesome.
But the reason that he
Not natural born.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, he's Canadian.
The reason that he is important is because now he can bring his wife and daughter here to live with.
That's awesome.
Okay, so I mean,
that's really cool.
These are some things that people don't understand what we do at the Realtor Care Foundation. We help people get into homes that can't get into homes. Okay. So if you can find your way to get there, I'll post this flyer at the office so that everybody has the information.
Can the buyers go there too?
Pardon me?
Can the buyers go there too?
Anybody can go there.
And we can go and play. Absolutely.
Yeah. You could. We're going to try to do this once a month, I think, or once every other month, and eventually you get to a point where you can reserve a table of like 14 people, and you can get a whole group of people together. And they can come in and for $10 have a good time. And you understand that all the servers, the bingo caller, and entertainment are all transvestites.
Oh, at Hamburger Mary's?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's so much fun.
It's hilarious.
And I bet that is.
It's like being in New Orleans.
I love. See, now you piqued my interest. Now I'm in. All right. You gotta tell me that sooner. Okay. Very good. All right. Okay. Kevin, you were a server there at one point. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. You've graduated up, but that's good.
I've never been, but I heard.
Okay.
I've talked to people who have, and they said it's hilarious.
All right.
Every night's a different, they have variety shows, every night's a different, one's bingo night.
See?
Variety show from, it is so funny.
That is cool. That's awesome. Well, good. Well, good deal. I love that. And by the way, if you can't make it, make the Realtor Care Foundation potentially one of your donating spots.
Yes.
Really, because, I mean, if you do that and then you're able to go help first-time home buyers, which now you help them buy a home, it all comes back to you. Talk about the full circle of generosity where that could really come. You know, it's really cool, great concept to be able to do. And you know what? We're helping people live the American dream. All right, the American dream is actually to own. Home ownership is such a huge part of wealth building in my eyes. That's why I got so excited when I got in real estate, is that, I was a firm believer. Those of you guys know my story. My parents rented their whole lives. I remember seeing the man come pick up the check every month, and I remember saying, I want to be on the other side of this transaction. All right? It's a 5-year-old, I remember that. One of my, fondest things. So I literally rolled nickels, and I didn't have a down payment assistance program, but rolled nickels and got into my first home. To the point of I was eating rice and beans just so I could save, money for my down payment, because I firmly believe that home ownership is doing that. What's that?
Read that off the back of my card.
Here.
50 this year, guys. 5-0 this year.
Is that better? Hey, Tom, I just got an email from the Greater Tampa Association about your bingo night just now.
See, look at that. See, they're perfect. Good deal. Everyone is buying real estate. Some for themselves, some for their landlord. That's an awesome line. That's so true. That is true. Is that, you're paying a mortgage already, all right? You guys come to 100K, you'll remember, what do I do when people come into my bank-owned open houses? Hey, how you doing? Why are you renting? Why are you renting? Why are you renting? Why are you renting? Okay, you want a great line, you want the magic pill, you want the why are you renting? Why are you renting? Why are you renting? Renting is what we say in Tennessee. What's that?
Somebody has that domain in check.
Why are you renting? Very good. Good. It's good that you check too. But seriously, go help people live the American dream. Go get it done. All right? It's so fulfilling to work with first-time home buyers. By the way, 100K, we're going to teach a lot working with first-time home buyers. Why? Because they're loyal and they will refer the ever-living daylights out of you. Period. All right? They will tell hundreds, and you know what? They are the ones that are on social media. By the time they get home from their closing, 1,500 people know that they just went to their closing.
Yeah.
All right? And they're like, what the heck? How did you buy a home? You work at Publix and your husband is an AC tech. How'd you buy a home? Well, I ran into Tom. Tommy, how we get the reason you reach out. Brian Heckman. I hooked up with Brian Heckman. The next thing you know, I'm getting $2,000 tax credit back at the bank. Boom. Right? And it's blowing up. And that's just the way things roll. All right? That's exciting. Great deal. That's awesome. Cool. Got anybody else? Hey, what's up? Good to see you, man. You doing well?
Well,
awesome. Good. David, you got a second?
For you,
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so last time David Rankin came, remember we were speaking, David's our resident attorney that we were introduced to, and also co-owner, or the owner, I should say, not co-owner, co-owner, yeah, you like that, wouldn't you? The owner of American Patriot Title, but our actual meeting sponsor canceled for today, so we have a little extra time, so I want to chat with David for about 7 or 8 minutes on, we broached the subject last time of charging the extra fee. Remember the transaction fee and all that kind of stuff. So David has an update for us on that. Come on up. So we'll get you in front. Has an update he was telling me a little bit about and knew, watch the chords. Exactly. Remember that. Why don't you go ahead and hold it and tell us what you found out and what's going on. Here, you hold that too.
All right. Anything else I can hold? Anyway, so last month there was a question. The question was, hey, in addition to the commission, can we charge an administrative fee? And at that time I said no, and I researched it and I have a different answer today. Well, let me give you a little bit of history. What happened for many years was that HUD had interpreted RESPA. Their interpretation was, and of course you have to realize that the people at HUD, every building they occupy is windowless, and they never get a tan. And they're always angry at somebody, all right? So their interpretation of RESPA was that you cannot charge for any service beyond your commission unless it's a new service that wasn't covered before by the commission, and that there was some value received that was commensurate with the amount that you charged. So for many years, it was actually a circuit court case out of the Federal Circuit case out of Alabama, where the court agreed with HUD and said you cannot do it. Since then, the Supreme Court of the United States has ruled that as much and as well-intentioned as HUD might have been, there is absolutely nothing in RESPA about this the analysis that HUD came up with, where it's got to be a service other than what you already charged or did for your commission, and all that analysis is out the window. What the Supreme Court has actually said is that you can RESPA is actually a kickback provision. It is a splitting of fee provision, and it prohibits the splitting of fees, all right? So as long as you charge for a service and you don't split it with anyone, what the court has said is that it does not violate RESPA, all right? So for years, once again, there was this analysis that I shared with you a moment ago, and people were it was an excruciating process where they were, okay, did I do this before, and what's the reasonable value? That is completely out the window. All right, so now how do I do this? And, well, and I also want to tell you that the CFPB, once again, they've taken over the same office space as HUD used to have. There are no windows. They never have a good time, and they're mad at people, all right? So my question was to one of the people that lobbies was, okay, well, CFPB is sort of like a sleeping monster now. We know what their attitude is, and we know what they want it to be. So the first thing you'd think of would be, well, they would amend RESPA. And they said, no, there's nothing has happened yet. They're just so consumed by everything else that they haven't addressed this. But I would just be mindful that at some point in the future, it may change. But as for right now, if you, in your, Bob is going to come up here in a minute and scare the heck out of you. But anyway, the only way to do it, the only way you should even think about doing this would be in your agreement, whether it's in your listing agreement, your buyer's agreement, in the compensation section, so there's no confusion that you are charging for, this is compensation. And so once you have it in the compensation, you can reference it as an administrative fee, and of course this would have to be something the buyer or the seller would sign, so they acknowledge that that is something they've agreed to pay. So there's no prohibition, but as you can see from an administrative standpoint, from the federal government, they don't like it a bit. And I wouldn't be surprised if sometime in the future, CFPB, once they adjust, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was an amendment to RESPA that addressed this issue, because they are just rabid about this issue. But as of right now, that is the status of the charging an amount in addition to your commission.
So there's no longer, because before the big thing was the justification, right? We had to justify this cost. It was storage. A lot of people were calling whatever BS you guys were using, throwing by your clients. Right?
Are we talking the MLS fee? Like
No, we're talking about like a transaction fee that you charge, like, hey, my commission is now 6% plus $3.95 or whatever. Okay, that's what you would put in your listing agreement. Or as a buyer's agent, hey, I charge a transaction fee to my buyers of $3.95 or whatever. You used to have to try, well, you had to be prepared to justify that, because in addition to your normal commission, this is why I'm charging it. And a lot of people used whatever logic they did with, they had to archive and yada, 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 Jim.
Is there a transaction processing administrator, is there a
preferred terminology?
Like should you call it one thing over the other, or is it doesn't really matter what you call it, as long as you call it a fee of, I guess, whatever.
Well, I think the most accepted practice is to say administrative fee, but understand that the agency that is regulating this is not, I mean, they are, once again, they're upset. They've got a burr in their saddle. And so there's nothing definitive, but it seems like the most accepted among the practitioners is to call it an administrative fee.
Well, I know, do not use the word MLS fee, because MLS does not like that.
Yeah.
So never use the term MLS fee, because they don't get the fee. So they don't like you using their name associated with a fee.
Yeah. Can I comment on MLS fee?
Sure.
MLS fee is a term that was actually coined by title companies.
Right.
I mean, in all honesty. Okay?
Right.
You have to understand there is no such thing as an MLS fee.
Right.
The offer of compensation is X% minus a dollar amount. That's just the offer of compensation, period. Mm-hmm. There's no other explanation. It's what your offer of compensation is. And the MLS rules allow for either a percentage and a dollar amount to be put into the compensation fields within the MLS. So if somebody says, why are you charging me a fee? I'm not charging you a fee. That's my offer of compensation.
Correct. Okay.
You need to start putting that in your head.
Right.
That's my offer of compensation.
And here's the thing too, quit getting hung up on it. I know you guys get, this is a bogus fee, but you know what? But you're okay with getting charged 2.5% or getting 2.5%, but you're not okay with 3% minus $3.95. When the reality is 3% minus $3.95 is more than 2.5. All right, if you do the math, which I can do, by the way, it's a math teacher. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that in mind, it's exactly what it is. Now here's where it became an MLS fee. All right, I was back in the day. All right, the MLS actually used to charge the listing agents because you couldn't input your data. All right, directly. You had to pay the MLS to input it into the MLS. So some smart listing agent said, hey, you know what? That $25 fee that the MLS charges me, I'm going to reduce the, the 3% compensation that I was splitting 3% with the buyer's agent. I'm going to charge that to the buyer's agent. So I'm going to offer 3% minus 25. And that's to recoup that MLS fee that I was being charged by the MLS to put it in. Now, we're talking 1983, people. Okay, this is way back in the day. All right? So now someone says, well, if it's going to agree to minus 25, why not minus 250? Why not minus 395? Whatever it is. If you don't want to get caught being paid less than what you think you deserve representing your buyer, then you must. The only way to do it is to have an exclusive buyer brokerage agreement that tells your buyer, hey, if I don't get X, 3% from this transaction, you agree to come up with the difference. That's what an exclusive buyer agency agreement. We taught, remember back in the day, a year, two years ago, when our average sale price was $37,000, right? Because things had dropped so low. And we were making, okay, let's see, this 3% of $37,000 isn't a whole lot. By the time I paid for gas, because gas was at $3.95 a gallon at the time, I'm not making any money here. All right, what the heck is going on? And so we taught you how to fill out an exclusive buyer agency agreement that says, hey, look, I'm willing to help you buy a $37,000 home, but I got to make at least X, $2,500, $3,000, whatever it is. So you agree, whatever I get out of the transaction, you'd agree to make up the difference between what I get from the transaction and $2,500. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, I got to make that amount. So that's the only way to overcome it. Or before the first substantive showing, you have in writing from technically the broker. Now the agent, if a broker wanted to fight it, they could and say, I didn't agree to it. My agent, doesn't have the authority to negotiate on my behalf. I give you the authority to negotiate on behalf. But if someone contacts you before first substantive showing, says, hey, look, let's have an agreement. Let's have a gentleman's agreement. You waive the $100 or the $250 or the $395 or the $495 or whatever it is. All right, on my deals, anytime you sell one of mine, I'll waive yours. Let's just, do it, whatever the case is. No problem. It is what it is. But it has to happen before. It cannot happen at time of contract. All right? Keller Williams agents in here? Former Keller Williams agents? All right, that's all right. You can, okay. I use the same thing. There's an addendum on there that says, part of it that was signed by all parties that you get that waived. Guess what? Totally unenforceable. We used it all the time, right? I said, hey, look, you agreed in here. The listing, oh crap, I didn't know we signed that. Well, you didn't sign it. The buyer and seller did, and actually has nothing to do with the buyer and seller. Because compensation co-broker agreement is between broker and broker. But a lot of times they would just cave and say, okay, I guess I didn't realize that, and they waived it. All right. So we put it in there to do that. But the reality is a buyer and seller have nothing to do with this. Compensation between brokers is an agreement between brokers, all right, to get that. So understand that concept. Now that we've gone off the reservation, it has nothing to do with what we're talking about here, all right?
You want to hold this?
Sure, absolutely. Because what we're talking about here is an additional fee that you charge. Now, okay, we already got a former KDW agent. How many former Coldwell Banker agents in here? Anybody? All right. We got to get after those guys, Jim. Let's go. Let's attack them.
We got them. They're hiding.
Oh, they're hiding. Okay. All right. They don't want to admit. All right. Some companies are out there mandating, the broker mandates, you will charge this, and if you don't, then it's coming out of your side of the commission, right? So you better, because we do have a transaction processing, whatever, you got a BS fee, right? So you have to do it. So a lot of them are coming in already already used to having that conversation. Well, this is what I do, $395, it's, to manage transaction, whatever. Long as it's disclosed on the front side, this is where we are today at least, right? Until the windowless people get more upset.
Preferably in the compensation section.
Correct. So in your buyer agreement or in your listing agreement, fully disclosed, not hidden in amongst 0.3 font amongst the rest of it being 12 font, right? Fully disclosed. Here it is. You agree that on top of the 6%, you're going to pay another $395 and yada, yada, yada. We're good with it. All right? If you're used to having that conversation because you came from a company that's what you had to have, and you want to continue that, go for it. Okay, personally, can I give my own personal opinion? All right? If I'm a consumer, I'm going to say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. WTF. 6% isn't enough? You greedy SOB. All right? I'm using a lot of acronyms here, right? Okay? You guys get the gist. All right? The next time I refer you will be never. Okay? But I made $395, but I lost 8 deals over the next 3 years. You do your business the way you want to do your business. Oh, everybody does it, and that's cool. I get it. I'm not here to tell you what to do. All right? I'm just telling you from a consumer perspective, at some point, I got more business out of buying a range for a first-time home buyer than I would ever get by putting up 17 billboards, all right, on I-275. All right? And it costs a heck of a lot less than 17 billboards. Okay? I'm just telling you, for me personally, that's what I recommend. Okay? That you start to nickel and dime people, all right? They start to feel nickeled and dimed, and they're going to go elsewhere. My own personal opinion, you do your business the way you want to do it. But we now know we can legally do it until David comes back next month and says, the CF, right?
Once they come out of their windowless offices, yes.
Right,
yeah.
and they come back and tell us otherwise. But until then, as long as fully disclosed in the compensation portion of either the buyer agreement and or your listing agreement. Fair enough? Are we all clear? Are we all clear? Those of you in virtual land? All right. Okay, this is all being recorded so we can tell people we did.
Can I just point something out?
You may. Most interesting man in the world. All right? I don't always drink beer, but when I do.
So since I'm on the forms committee since 1997,
Yep. Okay.
I can tell you that there's no place in the compensation section to put this number.
Of the contract.
Of the contract.
Right.
Either the listing agreement or the contract.
Right.
So you have to use the additional terms section.
In the listing agreement.
And it should be the first line
Sure.
of the additional terms
Exactly.
section. And that's what I use as the additional term section.
Perfect.
Okay? And it's the first one that goes in there.
Awesome.
And I've had this conversation with David personally to make sure that I wasn't going to get sued and so forth. So the issue is that as long as everybody that's going to be paying this knows that they're going to be paying it, it's disclosed.
What does it say on that first part?
That if it's the seller will pay an administrative fee of $300 to Future Home Realty.
Upon successful closing of the property.
They have to pay
Right.
the brokerage.
Right.
Okay. And the same thing upon a successful closing. And then if it's the buyer will pay a $300 fee to.
What about the addendum that we have that has the process?
Yeah, we have that in there. We have an addendum. That would be fine as long, but that's at the time of contract. That's the problem.
Exactly.
All right, so it's not satisfactory at the time of contract, in my opinion. If that's the first time you're introducing it, you can reiterate it at contract. Hey, by the way, this is the one. Remember we talked about this that you were giving me around the then boom, here it is in there. Bam, no problem. Okay, I get that's cool, but it cannot be, in my opinion. I think it'd be invalidated. Hey, now because what they don't like, that's just like the MLS fee. All right, if I'm trying to negotiate that away, they don't like that happening at the time of offer because now it becomes an arm twisting thing. It becomes very like, hey, look, you're trying to hold this offer hostage. Hey, I'm not going to buy. By the way, Tom, my buyer really liked your property, but I noticed you're offering 3% minus $295. I could probably sway them to your property if we could just get rid of that $295.
Too late.
Too late. All right? You lose. Because that's not what they want. They don't want this to be a ploy for me to try and strong-arm Tom into, you know. Now, before, hey, Tom, I saw you're listing my buyer. We're talking about looking at showings, one of them that may be on our list. All right? I'm just going through. By the way, here's the other advantage of having it in your exclusive buyer agency agreement. My buyer has requested that I ask you to waive that fee. Well, why would the buyer? Well, because I have an agreement with my buyer that says if I don't get 3% from the transaction, then they have to come up with the difference. And so my buyer, as part of this, is requesting that you waive the $295. Are you willing to do that? Because they, quite frankly, were real tight on funds, and they aren't going to have the cash to make up the difference in compensating me the full 3%. Now it's, hey, and that's totally a justifiable conversation because you do have an inclusive buyer agency agreement that says just that, right? To do that. So the key is disclosed up front in the compensation agreement until next month.
Well, at least for 15 days. How about that?
We're not even coming for 30 days. We're getting next month.
I'm joking about that, but it would take a number. I mean, it's going to be probably years before they change it.
Good.
But it'll be.
Well, I'll be retired by then.
That'll be the next episode. How
awesome.
about that?
All right.
Cool. All right.
Awesome.
You want to hold this?
Yeah, I'll hold
right.
it now. Thanks.
Right. You bet.
Appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Thanks.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
It's kind of cool having an attorney here who doesn't charge us by the hour. Isn't that awesome?
Amen.
Amen. All right. And we do appreciate it, David. Okay. We appreciate you researching that and that kind of stuff because we can keep ourselves out of trouble. That's always a good thing. So I think I saw, Danielle, did you walk in the room? Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So this is, remember we kept talking, she's coming, she's on her way. Well, this is she. Danielle, come on up for a second, okay? We already passed out all sorts of flyers. And,
Oh, yay.
how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. You look great. All right. We told them that you left FHR.
I'm coming back.
See, that's right. But I also told them that you say that every time you're coming back right before you're asking me for a donation. I promise I'm coming back, Bob, by the way.
I even sent it.
That's good. I know. I'm just teasing. So tell us real quickly about how you, I was telling a little bit about how you kind of working with the homeless, right? Because part of when we mandated you give hours as part of 100K, that you started working with the homeless. Is that how you met this, or how did this all come about?
Okay, so when I did 100K Club, I was at the point where I was like, okay, I want to get involved. And there was just never time. And I was like, all right, you know what? Now that he's telling me I have to do this, I'm going to just do it flat out. I already had my plans all in action, just life kept happening and getting in the way. So I met the most amazing woman when I started doing that. And through one of the women, she actually tagged me in a post because I still work at a place called Old Mickey's Farm in Odessa every once in a while. And it's funny because I actually help out with their wedding stuff. And so every once in a while, I'll call myself the dream maker. I'm like, yeah, I'll help you with your wedding, and then I'll sell you your first house.
There you go.
So it kind of works out for me. And so she tagged me in one of the posts and said, hey, this little boy's never had a birthday party. Do you think the owner could do something? And I'm a little bit of an overachiever, so I was like, okay, yeah, sure, why not? So we planned the birthday party, and I was like, you know what, let's turn this into a fundraiser. I talked to the mom, I kind of started learning more about him, and he had this entire bucket list. And basically, he has what's called tetralogy of Fallot, and it's 4 defects of the heart, and he has pulmonary atresia, hypertension of the lungs. So he needs a heart and double lung transplant, and it's not looking very good. Nobody can do it because just the chances of him not making it are too high. So basically, we're going to do this birthday party. We turned it into a fundraiser. We invited all of you. We're selling tickets. We have the amount of people that have just jumped through hoops to become involved. Jerry, Kevin, I mean, a ton of you. Leslie here is helping. I mean, it's amazing. So basically, we have a whole bunch of stuff set up for the kids. We have DJs, face painting, food, bounce houses. We have the farm. The animals are going to be there. We have hay rides. We have, we have like a cappella groups coming. We have, I mean, I can't even explain to you all the different kind of things that we're going to do. So what I'm here to do today is we actually have some tickets. We have, it's $10 per ticket. All the proceeds go to the family. And basically that gets you admission, and then you also get 1 meal item. So we're going to have, hopefully, Maggiano's, trying to get them on board. We have People's is on board, Beef O'Brady's, hopefully Sunny's, and it'll get you a drink. And then we're also selling additional activity or raffle tickets. They're $1 each. So basically, with those, you can get any additional food items. We'll have cotton candy, hot dogs, what was the other thing? Popcorn. We're going to popcorn, additional drinks if you want any of those. And then we're going to have silent auction items. So I know all of y'all love to shop. So we're going to have tons of massages. I can't even think. Yankee Candle, 31. It Works, Jamberry. We have lots of massages, actually. Yeah. We have like 4 or 5 of those. I know y'all need them. So we have a ton of those. We have artwork. We have Penny is one of our ladies that we work with through the homeless stuff and stuff. That's how I met her. She is a fundraising guru. This lady, in 2 trips, in 2 days, has gotten over $1,000 in gift cards from just restaurants.
Nice.
Also, she got a $900 gift card for dog training. I mean, name it, this lady has gotten it just going up and down Mabry.
Yeah, awesome.
So we'll have those as a part of the raffle baskets. So some of the items will be silent auctions where you can go around and do a silent auction, or you can purchase the raffle tickets and you can put them in the little boxes, and just kind of the more you put, the more you can win. And
awesome.
That's pretty much it. Win lots of stuff, do some shopping, have some fun.
Jerry.
Danielle and Tom, I'd like to say something that if what she said doesn't pull at your heartstrings, let me give you one more reason. I've had extensive conversation with Eric's mother and father. Eric's mother and father are trapped in a rental property. Their expenses have been so overwhelming that they can't even afford to buy a house. And unfortunately, they're also stuck in a rental property where the owner of the property lives from afar and it's being managed by another property management company who is really bad. And it's like every time something goes wrong with the house, the owner won't fix it. I mean, this has been going on for some time. So I'm helping to work through this process with them about how to document all this so that the lease can get broken and subsequently get put into a property that is properly managed from an owner who has the self-worth to take care of things that should be taken care of. This family has gone through so much, they shouldn't have to go through this also.
Sure.
And it's very sad.
That's awesome, and we appreciate you stepping up and doing. That's awesome. That so if you get a chance, when's the date? I'm sorry.
Okay, so it's a couple more things. It's February 28th, 12 to 4. I have some printed tickets. We could do cash or check, or if you want to do credit, I can put my computer up and get you set up there. The second thing is if you want to donate, I'll take all your money. Give it to me now. We'll take it. And I just wanted to thank, in this room, we have Bob, we have Jerry, we have Kevin, and Leslie's been helping out. I mean, just the support in this room has been amazing. Our sponsors have been amazing, the involvement. I just want to thank you guys so much. And then, so the other thing, I'm just going to do this little plug here. My goal is to raise $10,000 to pay for his deductible, his insurance deductible for this year. We are at $6,000, okay? So we need $4,000 more with ticket sales and the silent auction stuff, so come shopping, just buy stuff from us. And the other thing is, he has a bucket list. There's a few items that we have not hit. We've gotten almost every single one. But if any of you know, like NASCAR, or like frequent flyer miles, or gift cards to airlines, or I don't know. I'll send you that list.
Okay. Yeah. Keep us posted. That's awesome. It's just a way to do, and it's, again, fits right into our core value of paying it forward, helping a guy. Quick story, after I saw your post and I started reading about Old McMickey's farm. So remember I told you I rolled nickels to buy my first home. First home I bought was a Mark Ruttenberg home, brand new home in Windtree. You guys know where Windtree is up in Newport Richey? All right, literally rolled my pennies. The superintendent who worked for Mark Ruttenberg, who built my home, basically, was Ralph.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, great guy. I love Ralph. And it's funny because I showed Jeanette, I said, hey, you got to check this out. And as soon as I showed its picture, just the little freeze frame, because that's Ralph. It's from 25 years ago, right, or whatever it is. 24 maybe, I guess, years ago. She goes, but she could pick it out, and Ralph's just a really good guy.
He is. Yeah. He really is.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because I asked him for the birthday party, and then I planned everything without asking him. I was like, oh, by the way, we invited 500 people. He's like, what?
That's good exposure for him.
Oh, yeah,
right? Exactly.
He's all about it. He does the wounded veterans thing. He does a lot for the community.
Yeah,
so.
He's a good guy, really good guy. So all that saying comes full circle. So thank you very much. See Danielle afterward, get some tickets, buy some tickets for friends, buy tickets and say, hey, you know what, I can't come, but hand these out to people who want to come. Tom.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Kevin just asked me if they would possibly be eligible for an RCF grant. And if they're living in Hillsborough County and want to buy a house in Hillsborough County, and they meet the criteria, they can get a $5,000 grant towards purchasing a house.
The Realtor Care Foundation, you missed, that provides down payment assistance for needy families that have certain things that.
They're in Pasco, but they're right on the Suncoast in 54, so they could.
They're very limited to within the IRS rules for our nonprofit.
Where the house would have to be.
But I mean, they
There
could switch
are,
right over.
there are other care foundations that are run by realtor associations in Pasco and in Pinellas and so forth, so.
You might want to check this out.
You need to check that out.
Check with Tom, he can probably get you
If
to.
they're gonna move, if they wanna move into the Hillsborough County area, then they would probably qualify for the Realtor Care Foundation.
And they can use more than one grant, you think, if I find others?
That I'm not sure about.
Probably be a lender question, whether or not the lender would allow, you know, how much
It
skin,
really
right.
would be that, more so than us.
Okay.
Cool.
Perfect, thanks.
Awesome, great. All of it coming together. That's a beautiful thing. Awesome, cool. All right. See, even when we don't have our sponsors show up, we can fill the space. I love that. We can always, you know what? Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay, Maureen. Don't forget Maureen. Okay. I'm in big trouble if I forget Maureen. Big trouble.
Jim mailed the 1099s yesterday, so everyone can be expecting them.
Sunday, come on.
Sunday. Yeah, it was 31st. Not yesterday. We were compliant with the law. All right. We mailed them on the 31st.
Okay. On Sunday. Please let us know if there's any errors before March 1st. Do not wait until June to discover there's an error on your 1099. We attach to your 1099 your income log, which shows the breakdown of how we determined your income. So if you see that there's a mistake, please email me and I'll make sure we get it fixed. The other thing is if you are incorporated, if you are an LLC, PA, or anything, you will not get a 1099. We do not issue 1099s to corporations. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. And that's it.
Perfect. So you got it. So check your list when you get your 1099. Check to confirm all the transactions are there. It breaks down transaction by transaction. Please do that now because we have to send our filing to the IRS saying here's what we said Leslie made this year in a 1099. All right. If later on you go and you file your extension and then you go to file your taxes in June, right, and you want us to amend that, then we charge you a fee to go back through and amend that because we have to go back and amend what we sent to the IRS. All right. So now is the time to do it. Let's go here, Pat first, and I'll come to Jim.
Do you send anything for corporations to anyone?
No. Okay. Nope. Because no. Answer's no. Yep.
Also, if you switched, listen to myself. Also, if you actually got incorporated this past year, sometime mid-year,
yep.
Check your 1099 because the 1099 will just be up to that point in time, and then after that, you're not getting a 1099 for the rest of that. So that's where you need to check your numbers for those who just got incorporated.
Correct. So. Those who just got incorporated, so well, how do I know how much I made? Check your bank account. Okay? You are running a business, and you should know. Down to the dollar, I should be able to ask you, how much did you make last year? And you should be able to say, oh, let me pull up QuickBooks. Oh, here's how much I made. All right? If you're not doing that, then don't incorporate. If you're not prepared to do that, then don't incorporate. Okay? Got it? Everybody understand that? Everybody understand that? Good deal. All right. By the way, last thing on the 1099s. If you open up your 1099 and it is not where you thought it should be, it's because you didn't make enough money. All right? So come tonight, 7 o'clock, 100K Club. If you want your 1099 to be higher, all right, then come on out tonight, Hampton Inn and Suites. We've got 48 people signed up for tonight with about 33 seats. All right, so come on out. We'll stack you up one way or another. See, standing room only. We'll figure out how to make it happen. Okay, cool. Paul and Debbie, you ready? All right. Okay. I've just been dragging this out. Debbie did not want to do this, and so now I've just been agonizing her, just drawn out. When it's kind of like, all right, if you're going to stink and pull my tooth and just pull the stinking thing, will you? No, just, drag it on and shoot it up. So this is Paul and Debbie. Welcome, Paul and Debbie. Come on, give me a hand. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
You can sit down.
Have a seat. Exactly. See, there you So, in part of our ongoing, top agents, mastermind sharing, all right, we're bringing in Paul and Debbie. Paul and Debbie are a husband and wife team. The last name, they're not brother and sister. They actually married, okay? Paul and Debbie Theriault. I guess you got some stuff to share with us first? And then you want me to ask you some questions?
Yeah,
okay, you guys go. All right, you hold that and all of this. All right,
okay.
Hold it between the two of you.
Okay. Just some background is that I became a realtor in 2005. I started work with a small firm in Land O'Lakes, and for a couple of years. And then I went to Keller Williams, was there for about 3.5 years, and then came to Future Home Realty, and we've been here and will continue to stay here. We've been here 6 years, and this is home. This is awesome for all the reasons that you already know. My only apprehension in getting up here was because I don't know that we do anything special. You're all great agents. I'm sure you all do even better than what we do. So I just didn't want to bore anybody. I don't know that we have anything new to offer, but we will try. We'll share with you what we know. Paul got his license a year after in 2006. He still had the day job, the corporate job. And our goal was to continue real estate into our retirement years, because this is something that we can do from now on, you know. Then businesses continued to grow, and being at Future Home and attending the 100K Club, business has grown and grown and grown. So this last year, it was just so overwhelming that I was actually losing business. Paul and I talked about it. He resigned from his corporate job. And in June, July, and so now we're full-time, and it's been a blessing, because this year, and I don't know if we want to talk numbers or not.
Feel free, I loved it, but it's motivating.
Normally, every year since 2005, I've averaged somewhere between 75 and 120 GCI, which I was pleased with. This last year, coincidentally, after doing the 100K Club, we ran the numbers for 2015, and we ended up at 152
That's
GCI.
Awesome. That is
so we're very excited about that. Thank you so much for your support and the training. Absolutely had a lot to do with it. I have to make notes because my memory is horrible. So right now we're working, transitioning through becoming a team.
Yes, we are. We're becoming a team. Learning who's the boss and who's not. Which we've been married for 28 years, so that's already been known for a long time, believe me. But one of the things, you're absolutely right. One of the things that I feel like it's important, I've been in the corporate world for years and years and listened to a lot of speakers and things, and everybody tells you, well, you know, you've got to do this, you know, this is what you do, lead generation and everything, but nobody tells me how do I do that. You know, they tell me this is what's important, but how do I actually accomplish it? What actions do I need to take to make it happen? And that's one of the things. We do open houses. I mean, and that's one of the things that brings leads and buyers. Once, you guys are all personable people. Bob forces us to be that way. Once you start working with a buyer, those buyers are going to develop the relationship, and they're going to refer you. 70% of our business comes from referrals. I mean, it just is. We've had 4 or 5 transactions this year that were a direct result from an open house. We had 5 transactions this year that not only did we sell our client's house, but we sold them a new house. So we listed and we sold them. 70%.
Even with TRID, simultaneous closings can be done.
Right.
We've done that.
Once in a while. And a lot of our clients are repeat clients. There's one couple that we dealt with this year that we actually have sold them 3 houses and sold 2 of theirs. And apparently I'm hearing that we may be selling their house again soon. Every 3 years they have to buy a new house. So that's one of the things. It's open houses. I know Sherry works with the flea markets, and that's an awesome lead generating tool to get to know some new people, work with buyers.
One of the things that I have found consistently for me is Realtor.com. You're probably familiar with their programs. I pay for enhanced listings, and then they also have a program where you can basically buy a zip code. That has worked for me. It has paid, I think my fee for that is around $850, $900 a year, but that has paid for itself over and over and over. I mean, my goodness, you get one closing and it's already tripled your investment. So that's
Okay,
probably
real quick. And I know, okay, here's the thing. You guys hate to pay that, right? I get it. Okay? It's an expense. You spend $900 and make $300, it's an expense. You spend $900 and make $7,000, all right? That's called an investment. You need to invest. And now again, justify your expense, right? Make it an investment. If it's not justifiable, then you stop, right? You just don't do it. Yeah, but I'm going to bury my feet in the sand and I'm not going to pay you. That's crazy. I wouldn't pay them. Well, then you're not going to make 10 grand after spending 9. I get it. Now, it's not going to be the same return for everybody, all right? Current performance is not indicative of future performance, okay? But I'm saying you looked at it, you analyzed it as a business owner and said it's worth it.
Well, and to build off of that point, and something that was said earlier, it is our business, and we're both from corporate management, and we treat it like a business. We get up every morning, I go into my office, I may be in my sweats, but I go to my office, and I work it like a business. And believe me, I have paid for some marketing stuff that definitely was an expense, but then I don't do it next year. Realtor.com has been, and I'm not making a plug for them, but that's what has worked for us. Right. This last year, I know that we've made probably close, I don't know, $18,000 off of a $900 investment. So yes, I'm signing up for an additional second zip code. Right. Yeah. So as far as leads, and we did our numbers, we are good about that. Like Paul said, 70% of ours has been referrals. Our ambassadors have been awesome to us. We have a property manager that is always referring to us. She actually referred an investor to us that equaled, it was a little over $1 million condo project. This investor had 17 condos. So that was nice.
Yeah.
We have a loan officer who refers clients to us, even his own in-laws he trusted with us.
That's cool.
So that was pretty cool.
Well, in-laws, you know what I mean? You can kind of...
Oh, no, he wanted, he wanted his in-laws to be happy.
Very painful, you're right. If that didn't go well, that's right. That could be, I got it now.
So insistent, let me have that second. This right here, and I'm a reformed perfectionist.
Not reformed.
I am reformed, control freak, but along with that is I put together our own SOPs, standard operating procedures. I mean, it's just the two of us, but everything that we do.
We'll get a little glimpse into Paul's life here, all right?
I'm going to have to watch the video later just to see the look.
To see his reaction.
But
keep that smile on Paul.
Just clears up any question about that previous comment.
So anyway, everything we do step by step is in this book. And it was helpful when he started in June, because when he said, well, how do we do a DA or how do we do this? It's like,
read the book.
That's
awesome.
It's an example of you've got to treat it like a business. I mean, we want to do this full time. Some people want to do it part time, and that's great. But
can I help you here? All right, too. Those of you who are striving, if you're coming to the next, all right, you guys are going to be invaluable to our group, because treating it like a business. Here's the thing. I'm going to give you a small glimpse into the next, all right? One of the things that we're going to talk is, what's the difference in being self-employed and a business owner? All right? There's a huge difference. In self-employed, you own a job. All right? In business owner, you own a system that creates cash flow. Huge difference, right? We have neurosurgeon, self-employed. He owns a job. If his hands aren't in somebody's head, he's not making money. Okay? We're going to learn the definition is, can you walk away from what you're doing for a year and come back and have it more profitable than when you left? That's a business. Self-employed? You better carry workman's comp on yourself, by the way, if you're a self-employed person right now, because if you got laid up in a hospital bed and couldn't do what you do for 6 months, you'd be SOL, all right? You're SOP, all right? Okay? So with that in mind, we're going to learn these kind of things, and you guys are way ahead because ideally, this is on the way, let's go KW on you, to a level 7 agent. Okay? You're on your way to a level 7 agent because you create systems that someone can come along, pick up your manual, and do what you do while you're in the Virgin Islands. Okay, literally.
Well, exactly. My best girlfriend is coming in Friday, and I am taking 5 days off.
Good.
And so, here you go. I am so ready for a break.
If he texts you, hey, what do I do? Read the book.
Yeah.
All right?
It's in section 7.
RTB.
Exactly. So, what else?
Okay, what else you got?
Well, and getting back to specifics, another thing that we feel stands us apart from agents other than future home agents is...
No, amongst the future home agents. By the way, we just did 1099. Guess what? We looked at the numbers. 20% of our agents did over $2 million, about 21.5% did over $2 million in sales last year. Okay? Not a whole lot, right? Okay. About 21.5% of our agents did over $2 million in sales. It means 80% of our agents did under $2 million. All right? Guess what? Keller Williams, 20.6%. All right? Guess what? Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate Services, all right? 21.7%. The numbers are the numbers, all right? Those who want to win, those who don't, period. So, sorry, go ahead.
Well, it's getting back to the specifics. One is we answer the phone. And I brought that up last month whenever the young lady was saying, because that's a tremendous difference. It's one of the number one things you'll hear from clients is that I've called 3 agents, you're the first one that answered, or you're the first one that's called me back. And that's critical. Treat your client like you like them. I mean, like they're your friend, because eventually when you help them through this process of they're making their dream come true, you are going to be
a lot of
friend.
them have become our great friends.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, and then we work hard. I mean, there's no doubt. A client will call, we'll answer the phone 10 o'clock in the morning. We're showing them a property at noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're responsive to their needs, regardless of what it is. And there are clients, I mean, we feel like we go above and beyond from time to time for some of our clients.
He installed a garage door for someone.
One of our
garage door?
A garage door opener.
Oh, opener.
Okay,
yeah.
very good. That's still impressive enough, but a garage door I was even more impressed.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I helped a guy, he's in his 70s, late 70s, and we were listing the house down in Seminole Heights. It was an older house. I helped him paint the living room. I mean, to me, that was no big deal. It took us an hour, but he was over the moon about it. You know, so...
You think he'll refer you?
Oh, he did.
See? I'm telling you, what value do you get out of that, guys? I'm telling you, you do not need bus benches and billboards. All right? That's old school.
Yeah.
All right? Don't tell Kim Decanini and the Colonel. All right? Okay? But you don't need that. All right? You need living room paintings.
Yeah.
Is what you need.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just help where we can. We really do very little marketing other than the Realtor.com. And then we have a couple of little things that we want to share with you, but we don't pay for any other marketing other than that. It's just referral. One of the things that we do is every quarter we get together at Grillsmith. We invite all of the buyers and sellers and some of our vendors that we've worked with in the last quarter to Grillsmith. We don't pay for the room. Don't do that. Little secret here. They charge you a fortune for that room. We just give them about a week's notice that we want those 3 or 4 tables back there, which can seat 20, 25. And we just hang out back there. We give them little drink or tickets. They can get drinks, beverage tickets.
Happy hour.
Oh, and we keep half of it, right? And we write their name on there, and it goes into a bucket. And then at the end of the evening, we'll, it's a $10 Starbucks card or a $25 Grillsmith gift card. We provide all the appetizers. I mean, really, $400, something like that. That's what we use our marketing money for, is that kind of stuff. We just want to get back to them. And then we have a couple of other things. These are little boxes, and on the back, on the bottom of them, there's a website where you can go. You probably already do it. I just discovered it a few months ago. So we thought we would share that with you. We've done one for Thanksgiving, one for Christmas. We have one for buyers. I can't grab coordination.
Yeah, that's right. That's a little tough. Get out of
what else do we do?
So what are those boxes now, and what do you do with those?
Well, you'll see.
Okay. Perfect.
And what I was going to say is, you go to their website.
My name is Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Well, I'm going to show you this property, but I'd like to.
Rein in the humor.
Awesome.
So.
And you hand this out where?
Well, like these were the Christmas ones. So we went by all of our clients' house. We just took a day and we went, knocked on the door, said, "Merry Christmas, good to see you." And we put little candles in there. Yankee candles fits perfectly. Candies that are in there. We gave you all candies. I know realtors like candies.
Oh, yeah.
But it's easy to design, very user-friendly. You upload your own picture. You can go to Shutterstock and get pictures and upload those, and then you can put your own verbiage on there, whatever you want.
An online company that does that?
Yeah, it's what is it? DesignMyCandyBox.com. Yeah.
Don't you love America? That somebody is out there making money saying, "I'm going to create a DesignACandyBox.com site." I love that, and you know what?
And I design it. I do the work, but I'm okay with that. I love it. And so then we put a little message on here, both for Thanksgiving and Christmas, our own personal little message. And so again, that's how we spend our marketing dollars. I want to give back to my clients. So
can I reiterate the quarterly thing? That quarterly gig that you get together with your past clients and some vendors and all that kind of stuff. Guys, 7 levels of communication. All right, what's the highest form of communication? Person to person, eyeball to eyeball, appetizer to appetizer. I'm just telling you, you win. You start doing stuff like that, it's game over. I don't care how many times they get a guerrilla marketing piece from the guy that owns your neighborhood.
Right.
When you bought him calamari, all right, that's it. I'm just telling you, because you had a relationship. All right, you're going deeper with a few rather than shallow with many.
Yes. And although, like I said, my average in the years before this last were 75 to 120. But as a direct result of the 100K, Bob's support, all of the staff's support, and the 7L book, I mean, I have read it 3 times now, and I get something new from it every time. And that's where a lot of this is stemmed from, is that. So thank you.
Well, thank Michael Mayer as well. That's good stuff. That's beautiful. So you don't spend. Is that your probably biggest expense per se? Would be Realtor.com?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Their biggest expense. They grossed $150,000 in GCI. Their biggest expense was $900 in marketing.
Yeah. Oh, and these little things, they're $1 a piece. So, and you'll see the little candies. You can, put Tootsie Rolls in there. We've varied it up. All right. Yankee Candle, those can get a little pricey, but Walmart's got some for $1. It doesn't matter. I'm sure you've got some other great ideas of what to put in there. And they get so excited about this. I mean, it's cute.
Well, it's the thought that counts, right? Let me coin a phrase. It's a thought that counts. You ever heard that one before?
Jadina?
I'm going to pick your brain a bit. I wrote down a question for you.
Good.
First, how long have you been married?
28 years.
Good. You bounced.
I answered
nice
that
job.
question. I always answer that question.
Okay, 28 years. That's awesome.
How many closings have you had last year?
How many what?
Closings.
37.
37. Awesome.
How many of them were on the listing side versus buyer side?
Uh-oh.
That's right.
Listings, or do you do more buyers?
Yeah, what do you feel? You don't have the exact
It's
number.
probably close to half and half. I mean, seriously, we probably did a few more buyers last year than listings.
Maybe 2017, kind of in that range, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas it used to be listings, I mean, I used to do a lot of bank-owned.
Right.
So, I mean, there were times where I would carry 40 or 50 listings. But then that's kind of died out a little bit.
Got it.
So, that's another thing. In my opinion, you have to be willing to change with the market. When short sales first came out, a lot of realtors said, I'm not doing short sales. It takes too long. I don't get paid for months. I became the short sale queen. It's like, if you don't want to do it, I'll do it. And once you fill up that pipeline, of course, it's kind of irrelevant now because there's not that many. But my point is, when the market changes, be willing to change with it. That's all.
That's awesome. Great advice, by the way. Okay, good.
No, somewhere. How do you market your listings? Like, because, and that's something that I know I personally can improve on as I'm getting more and more listings. Aside, from putting on the MLS and open houses or whatever. Do you do anything special additionally to market your listings?
Not other than the Realtor.com, because we pay for the enhanced portion. So all of our listings are in their enhanced section. So it has special borders and whatnot.
The special borders are able to do load videos, more pictures. Plus, when somebody goes there, it's going to show their phone number, not the office phone number. Because guess what? I'll 100% to fully disclose, when you don't do that, all right, I got tired of babysitting your listings, all right? So now, guess what? I refer out your Realtor.com unenhanced listing calls that come to the office. They get referred out to about 5 or 6 of agents that pay me a referral fee, because guess what? I get tired of answering your rental calls, all right, because about 90% of them are rental calls right now, all right, that are doing it. But dadgummit, if I'm going to interrupt my son's soccer game to make sure, because we know what we do, we rapidly respond. They leave a message, and somebody's back to them in 5 minutes. All right?
Monday.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Jackie's one that gets referrals. All right. Guess what? I make $40,000 extra a year on the referral fees because you guys won't enhance your listings. So do the math. That's $160,000 in gross commission income. All right. That's coming in because you guys refuse to pay $375 to Realtor.com to have your number show up.
I will say the other marketing that we do is a professional photographer. And we have one that she charges $150 to do 25 or 30 pictures. And it just is...
it will be.
It will be. It will be. Yes. So I think that's pretty reasonable.
Jim, you just talked about this the other day too, about professional photographer, right? Having a professional photographer pay to have. Yeah. Who is it?
It's Stephanie. I'll put it out there. I don't remember her last name, and she kind of goes by Stephanie. Photos by Stephanie.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Question from the.
Yeah, question from the online people. They want to know, backing up to your event, quarterly event. Do you have like a name for it? Is it a social event, or
how do you promote that? How do you get people to come?
That's what it sounded like you were saying.
It is, but what we do is we look back, we evite our clients and vendors that we've worked with primarily over the past quarter. And there may be a couple that either potential clients or even further back simply because they couldn't make the last event or whatever. And we get 20 to 25 people there. We come out. We have a few.
You just appetizers, free drinks. Do they know what's going on?
Sure. In the invitation, we tell them, we're here.
It just says, let's get together. It's just simple.
Yeah.
And then also, can you bring those boxes tonight?
Yeah.
Sure.
They want to see them at the
100K?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They're going to be at the next because they've already done 100K. They're going to the next. All right. I'll make sure I have one. I'll bring this one to the 100K as well.
Okay. We'll bring. And the buyers. The other, the koozies and stuff. I keep saying that we don't do much on marketing, but these are a few other things that we do on marketing. But again, it's to give to our clients. We want our marketing dollars to go to our clients.
We ran out of boxes.
Oh my goodness! Sorry about that. So they're grocery reminders, which everybody loves.
Yeah.
And then koozies, because you can never have enough koozies.
Right.
But let me see the koozies.
One of the things that great about this is it stays on their
Sure enough.
refrigerator for
Yeah.
6 months to a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always. We
And
have clients
a lot of agents do that, but yeah, those seem to be real popular. And then we came across these koozies, and on one side I have my name and my information, and then put Paul's on the other.
Cool.
So when we meet new clients, we usually take on 1 or 2 of these things. So
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
This
You know,
is the front side, this is the back side.
stop it now.
Awesome. Do you need any more questions?
One more,
Okay.
for now. Where do you concentrate your business? Like, where do you have, like,
An area,
Yeah.
a farming area. You know, one of the things that I learned when I was doing bank-owned properties, Manatee to,
From Leesburg to Port Charlotte.
I mean, I just don't do one small area. I'll go anywhere. And now I do learn the area because I know some people might think, well, if someone wants to be down in St. Petersburg and you don't know that as well, how do you help them? We go down, we preview the neighborhoods. Paul and I will drive around the neighborhoods. We'll get to know the area. And so, you know, after 8, 9, 10 years, we know all the areas pretty well. It seems to work. I don't know, that's not for everybody to drive that far, but we do about 4 different counties.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, your license says Florida. All right. Doesn't say a county, doesn't say a city. Sherry?
On your listings that you have that are vacant, do you hire someone to stage them?
No, we don't. We don't.
And then, Kev, I think that might be a flexible situation, right? Because right now the market's so hot, you don't need to. Get to a point where you think you might need to, then you would. I think that's a case by case basis, and do that. But that's something that, hey, look, you know, we don't need to do it right now. So why
Yeah,
would we?
and I guess as I'm thinking about it, a lot of them haven't been vacant. When I had the bank owns, what I would do, because so many air conditioners were being stolen, is that we went to Goodwill and we got curtains and we got floor mats and plants, so we made it look like it was lived in.
Alarm yard sign.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Oh,
thing.
yeah. Good idea.
And also, do you hire, have you hired a transaction coordinator or assistant or anybody else to help you guys?
Yes and no. We had one that we used for years. She's awesome. But then I felt like I was missing out on some of the personal contact, and I was able to do it on my own. I mean, so far that has
And they're
worked.
a team right now, so they're probably, you know,
Yes.
you're separating assignments, right?
Right.
Because the book says who does.
It does. It does. And it's good for Paul right now to learn, you know, about the survey and the appraisals and how all of that is done. We are getting to that point, though, now where we're both busy full time. So we were just talking about that this last week, and I know that's on our list. So we want to interview a couple of different ones.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Good question.
Full-time for you or a transaction manager?
At this point, I think it'll be a transaction coordinator, simply because what they do would be what an assistant we hired would do, and we pay them as we need them rather than full-time.
And can I just a quick word on that? We'll talk about this in the next as well, because we're going to talk about teams and how we build a team and where we go. But just as an aside, just drill this in your head, all right? Subcontractors are better than employees. Okay, always. Okay? Subcontractors, I can fire my lawn guy at any time. He's a subcontractor of mine, all right? I have an employee, I've got to validate it, I've got to make sure I got to pay unemployment insurance, I got to pay half of FICA, things go crazy when you have employees. Now again, you got to be watchful, and we'll talk about this too, is because there are employment laws. The IRS says, hey, look, yeah, it'd be great if you call everybody a subcontractor, all right? But if you tell them you will be here this time, this place, this, you know, I need you to do this, this, and this, you have to be here from 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, guess what? They're an employee. Whether you want to pay them as an employee or not, they're an employee. So there are things there. But if you have things that you can say, hey, look, whenever you get this done, I need this done, you're complying with the subcontractor laws, all right?
Great.
More questions? Good questions, by the way, guys.
Yeah. How can we help you?
What's your biggest challenge right now?
The biggest challenge? Wow. I don't know. That's a good question. What's our biggest challenge?
How to spend all the money we're making. We don't know what to do with it.
Mine
No.
is getting a day off.
getting a day off.
Oh, please.
All right, well, she's going to get 5 days, so it means you get one sometime in the
Yes,
future.
he doesn't mention that at least 3 times a year he takes 4-day weekend to go play golf somewhere.
Oh, that doesn't count.
So, yeah, that does count. The biggest challenge, I think, though, is we just did our PLLC this last spring.
Right.
So we are going through that transaction, and a plug for Unbehagen. We love them. They've been doing our taxes for a couple of years. They helped us set up our PLLC and understand what all's involved, because it is pretty involved. So that's our biggest challenge at the moment, is getting that in place.
I said that 2 weeks ago, and it's like, oh my gosh.
Yes, it can be overwhelming, but they're wonderful to work with. They'll help you through every step.
Unbehagen, they were here last, the Unbehagen advisors.
Oh,
They're
you'll
just,
get a copy of that with your 1099.
yeah, matter of fact, in your 1099, there's a little thing that comes to that. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Just like, it's like when you call me and talk to Maureen.
Yeah.
Exactly, same thing. All right, good deal. But you know what, to you guys, the pain that you're going through now will be well worth it. It's the pain on the front side with worth of tons of value on the back side.
Right.
All right, that's there.
I was incorporated from the time I first got a commission, and I've been using that. My taxes are all set to
Yep, it's done. Because you did it along the way.
I have them do the accounting every month with my payroll taxes every month, all of that stuff. I work with them every month. I bring my stuff in. They should be out on my financials.
Here's something I've learned in my time in Tennessee. So I made a mistake last year, and this year I made an adjustment. It's easier to shovel 2 inches snow 4 times than 8 inches of snow all at once. Okay? It's easier to get half an inch of ice off your driveway, all right, 3 different times than 3.5 inches all at once.
And it's much easier when you've got that snowplow.
Well, exactly. Probably doesn't snow enough in Nashville, because I called and they're like, yeah, right. You know, they're like, yeah.
That's what Todd and that company
Yeah,
do.
exactly.
They come in and shovel for you.
That's true. That's right. You just hand them the stuff and it's all done, and they can do your corporate tax return and by clicking a button. Boom.
Yeah, so it's been great.
Their company is also, like, I went to talk to Conan, who's the tax guy, in September. I said, this is where we're going. Fortunately, I'm making more money. What do I need to do for my taxes? So they do the tax planning to help make sure that's all paid for.
Well, and not only that, I mean, whenever I left the corporate world in June, I needed health insurance because that was provided. Unbehagen is a one-stop shop. They do home, health, auto, all kinds of insurance. They do accounting, they do your tax preparations. I mean, anything that a small business needs, they provide it.
We actually did get our health insurance and our home insurance through them.
Absolutely.
And saved us a lot of money.
And they understand realtors, by the way. Just, no financial relationship between Unbehagen and I or anything like that. It's just that they understand realtors. They really do. So
Todd's watching, we need a discount.
that's right, exactly. See? Careful, we talked about that's respos. Okay, exactly. The sharing of fees concept is where we get into trouble. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. So, all right, cool. Any last? I know we've run late, and that's cool. Danielle.
Yes. Okay, a couple more things. I forgot Jacksonville windows on too.
Yeah.
I want your money too, please.
Okay.
Kevin's graphics guy, Brian, did ericsevent.com. You can go there to donate. Just because you're far away doesn't mean I don't want your money.
There you go.
And then Leslie brought up a good point. If anybody knows anybody that would want to be a sponsor, I called my roofer, title, property management, anybody you know. Call everybody you know.
Old broker meant former broker, by the way. Okay, old, not old. Former brokers. Okay.
My mentor,
Yeah.
my
Okay.
favorite person in the whole world.
I hit the PayPal last night. All right, you can stop.
But
Checks payable too.
because I'm doing everything through PayPal, it's being done to me. And then like with her, I just already paid it from my account, and then I deposit the check into my account and do the PayPal. So I already sent you your receipt for yours. Okay. So you can do that, or you can do cash, or I can send you a PayPal invoice, and you can do it that way.
Cool.
So like the sponsors, they'll say how much they want to donate or how much they want to do. and then I can just send them there. Or you can do it straight from the website. It'll say on the very bottom on the right, it'll say donate to AIR.
Cool.
And tell them what the sponsors, what you're doing, sponsors.
So for the sponsors, they're going to basically have all the information on the flyers, and those are being handed out everywhere. We're having, actually, we had 2 schools come on board today. They're doing 100 to one of the schools, 750 to another one of the schools.
Nice.
So your logo will be on there. I hit up my client to make us a banner. He has a sign company. So he's going to be putting all the logos on the banner. We're going to have, every sponsor is going to have a table. So we'll have it kind of like a little centerpiece, and hopefully we're going to have a sponsor table. I don't know. There's going to be so much going on. I can't guarantee a lot of action, but it's going to be there.
How much is it to be a sponsor?
A minimum of 100.
Cool. Awesome. See, Danielle, if you have any questions. Any last questions for Paul and Debbie before we release them? It wasn't that bad, was it?
No.
See?
I just, well, it wasn't bad for me. I hope that they got something.
Oh, it was awesome. Great job. Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, I know we're running a little bit late. 6 o'clock tonight for the next, 7 o'clock tonight. By the way, if you're coming to 100K and you'll see the doors shut, don't come in until we're done with the next. You're not allowed in. If you want in, go produce 4 million in sales or 15 transactions this year. Yes, Tom.
Tech user group,
Oh.
GTAR, Tuesday night, 5:30 to 7:30.
Next Tuesday?
Video in real estate.
Oh, cool.
Brian Heckman.
Okay, next Tuesday. A week from
Yeah,
tonight.
tonight.
Okay, tonight or a week from tonight?
A week from tonight.
Okay, a week from tonight.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys, thanks. If you need anything, let me know. Have a great day. Thanks for coming out. Go get them. Keep it up. Lenny, how are you?